Good morning, everybody. On this extremely cold day, I'm sat outside. As you all know, I'm a whistleblower within HMRC. Yesterday, I explained how a group of staff all put in complaints against me after I got stabbed outside down the street by neo-Nazis who objected to my academic research on the BNP. I explained how neo-Nazis have been harassing me by making false sexual allegations, accusing me of being an extremist, labelling me a suicide bomber. All attempts to stop my academic research, which I've been pursuing at the local university as part of my master's degree, outside of work, while I work for HMRC. A few days after getting stabbed, 5 members of staff, Nick Idle, Tim Fisher, Phil Davis, Anthony Stanfield and Tony Smith, put in complaints against me, which mirrored precisely the kind of harassment neo-Nazis have been making before they put in a complaint, and which you can read all about, not only on the internet, but also by buying my book Dead Packy Walking, which is what neo-Nazis labelled me, which you can buy on Amazon or in Kindle in paperback or in Kindle. Yesterday I explained how Tony Smith put in a complaint accusing me of being an extremist for heckling the BNP at a protest in Burnley. I said today I would explain the complaint, show you the complaint he put in, but it was just accusing me of expressing support for suicide bombers, which he made to karaoke. Here goes, here's the complaint. Under extreme political views, he says, sometime during the spring-summer of 2003, I can't remember the date, I overheard a conversation at lunchtime between Andrew and Mr. John Polachek, where Andrew openly said that he supported Palestinian suicide bombers. This both angered and disgusted me to think that someone that I worked with condoned this sort of action. I interrupted the conversation and asked them to stop talking about this because it was angering me and I didn't think it was an appropriate discussion to be having in the workplace. Andrew ignored my comments and continued speaking on the same subject. I left the building to have a cigarette. He then goes on to complain about my attendance at a BNP rally and my academic research, as I said yesterday. And that's the complaint to karaoke. Blah, blah, blah. Wish to make about Mr. Andi Ali. This is outrageous. I have never expressed support for suicide bombers in my life. And if that conversation had taken place, as Smith said, why didn't he complain about John Polachek for having the same conversation? It may interest you to know that neo-Nazis were making those same false allegations and at the demonstration Smith complained to me about. It's all on the internet, you can see what they were saying there. It may interest you to know that HMRC upheld both those complaints. I took the matter to the Police Employment Tribunal and HMRC did what they passed as another investigation. But in that investigation, Tony Smith, when asked what made him think I expressed support for suicide bombers, he said, I never heard Andrew say, I just assumed he did because he was wearing an Arabic headscarf. That is racial harassment. It's outrageous. It's been reported to the police. HMRC have refused to do anything about it. They're supporting Smith in saying it's perfectly fair for Smith to say I was expressing support for suicide bombers because I wore a scarf, and it's perfectly reasonable to use HMRC procedures to complain about my academic research on the BNP and to label me an extremist for heckling a neo-Nazi group who have sought to remove all non-whites from HMRC and the wider civil service. It's outrageous.